Imagine working hard to support your family back home, only to be blocked from sending them the money they desperately need. That's the reality Florida's latest immigration crackdown could create. Ron DeSantis' plan to regulate remittances as part of his crackdown on illegal immigration is definitely going to stir up a lot of debate. The idea is to require ID verification for anyone sending money overseas, making it so undocumented immigrants can't transfer earnings out of the country. On the surface, it seems like a straightforward way to target illegal immigration, but the ripple effects could be massive, especially for countries and families that depend on remittances. Take Jamaica, for example. In 2023 alone, the country received $3.37 billion in remittances from the US. That's a huge part of the economy. And for Haiti, about 22% of its total GDP comes from money sent by families in the US, many of whom live in Florida. If undocumented immigrants are blocked from sending money, it's not just their families that will feel the pinch. Entire economies could be destabilized. And ironically, that kind of economic fallout could push even more people to migrate to the US, which is the opposite of what this policy aims to achieve. There's also the humanitarian side of things. A lot of immigrants send money home to cover essentials like food, education, and healthcare for their families. If they can't do that, it's going to leave a lot of people struggling on both ends. Critics, like the Florida Immigrant Coalition, have already pointed out that cutting off this lifeline could make things even worse in countries that are already vulnerable, creating more pressure for migration instead of reducing it. On top of that, the plan could cause headaches for businesses too. Companies that handle money transfers would have to verify everyone's immigration status, which means more costs and a lot more risk. And if undocumented immigrants do manage to send money through these businesses, the companies could face fines of 25% of the transfer amount. That's a hefty penalty and could push some businesses to avoid operating in Florida altogether. Then, there's the question of how this would even work. Setting up something like an e-verify system for remittances sounds complicated, not to mention the legal and privacy concerns it raises. Would it only apply to Florida-based companies? What about national or international platforms? And if people can't send money through legal channels, they might turn to unregulated or illegal ways to get funds back home, which opens up a whole new set of issues. While this proposal is clearly designed to address illegal immigration, it feels like the unintended consequences could far outweigh the benefits. Families, businesses, and even entire countries could be affected, and it's hard to see how this wouldn't just create more problems in the long run.